There's free water upstairs. Good evening, good evening, good evening. I am Juanqui and welcome to my world. Baby, I almost did not make it today. Today is my Friday, so I've had a long, hard, and uncut and intense week. Tonight, I was going to dial up the understudy. Naris 21, are you ready to be the understudy and step up, Naris 21? Do you have what it takes to step in and fill in the shoes of a Juanqui Pro? Do you? Are you cunt? Do you have charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent, cunt? I have my own thoughts on that regarding Naris 21. He says, why, yes. Well, let me tell you something. I have never called out of a scheduled performance. He says, I have my anchor voice ready, ladies and gentlemen. This is Naris 21 stepping in the role of the evening entertainment. All right, let's just get through this let's get through this. This was an interesting one. This is somebody asking advice in the men section, all right? And they say, is a luxury gift too much for someone I just started seeing? Oh, you want to be the big spender, but you don't want to spend it, huh? You want to be the big baller, but you see them receipts coming back for signatures and shit, right? All right. He goes on to say, I've been seeing someone for a few weeks now, and her birthday is coming up sooner rather than expected. We went on a date recently, and she casually mentioned liking designer bags and nicer accessories. Okay. So she was dropping the hints. Okay. She was dropping the hints. He goes on to say, the date went really well. So I guess I filed that away more than I realized. Now I'm stuck because I wanted to get her something thoughtful, but I also do not want it to come across like I am trying way too hard, making things more serious than they are. We are still early enough that a huge gift will probably feel weird, but showing up with something random feels lazy too. I started looking around for ideas on Galaxy Bids while checking out gift cards and nicer items, which is what got me thinking about the whole thing. I am not locked into buying from there or anything. I am just trying to figure out what kind of gift makes sense this early. All right, here's a whole fucking ball of contradiction. Okay, I titled this To Luxury or Not. And if you ask me, I always go for the luxury. Now, before I give my thoughts on this, let's see what some of these people have been saying. Somebody says, and this is a man named Johnny Evil. Let that sink in. He says, definitely not a designer bag. Somebody says flowers, maybe just flower, not a designer bag. Oh, everybody's shitting on the designer bag. Somebody else says, you don't want to set the bar too high at this stage. Regardless of your income level, it's more of a long-term relationship item, maybe an anniversary or something. A nice bouquet of flowers from a specialty florist and a nice dinner will be suffice. With that said, never buy cheap flowers. Hello, Trisha Lane. Nice to see you. Mother, Trisha Lane. To luxury or nah? We have this gentleman over here. He's talking to some chick, and he wants to know should he buy her a designer bag or not, even though they're early on. And so people are saying, somebody says, my son did that. Jewelry for Valentine's Day, and she stopped talking to him almost immediately after. Somebody says, I wouldn't. I could be it could be construed as inappropriate over the top or over the top. If you make it past a year, maybe. Okay, now here's my thoughts on the whole thing. To luxury or to not. Are you fucking dating or you not? Okay? If you're dating, spend responsibly. I'm not saying buy the chick a designer bag and don't pay your rent and your car note while you at it. No. If you have disposable, first of all, if you dating, I'm assuming you have some type of disposable income to date, right? If you're dating, then you should have some coins available, right? If this is my thoughts, if your heart touches you and your bank account is flexible enough, then you can buy her a designer bag for her birthday. By all means, go ahead, date, enjoy yourself. You can't take the fucking bucks with you when you're dead. Now, I'm not saying get stuck eating Roman noodle soup from the cup for the next month and a half because you decided to buy her this. No, that is spending irresponsibly. Be responsible about yours. But if you dating and you're really trying to show off, you better get her a good gift. People who get all weirded out and I had to stop talking to him because it was just, I don't deserve. Girl, you don't deserve it. What do you mean you don't deserve it? You in the dating process, right? Yeah, this is the point where they show you and you receive and you might reciprocate. Now it's 21. You understand what I'm saying? Take all the sugar you want, but when it's time to give that sugar, baby, when it's time to give that sugar, baby, you better get on your and start paying. Start paying. This man, listen, if he had to come out here and ask all these strangers in the internet should he spend this money, what kind of man is asking other men in the men section? How should he spend his money? Don't make no damn sense. It don't make no damn sense. You should be able to determine whether or not you want to buy her the designer bag. Do you want to impress her? Do you have the disposable income? Are you going to be able to pay your car note and get to work and do the whole thing, the insurance, pay the rent, the whole nine? Is this your play money? Because if it's not, then don't even consider the designer bag. You're in the wrong fucking store. You might as well just go to Adidas or the 99-cent store, or like somebody said, some flowers and shit. That's where you should be. That's where you should be at. Okay? Some of these men are just completely delirious and just don't make no damn sense. If you have it to spend, don't come out here asking other people how you should spend it. See, that's one thing I love about the gays. Okay? When it comes down to the pleasures, all types of pleasures. All right. We're not counting the coin. We're not looking at the bank. We're not like, okay, penny pinching and the whole nine. No. If it's about fashion, if it's about a good time, if it's about a good vacation, if it's about a good dinner, if it's about a good brunch, we spare no coins. Okay? Budget. Now it's 21. What's a budget? I once worked off a budget. The year was the year of the flood. But in all seriousness, if you are on the receiving end, Naris 21, of a highly expensive gift, first of all, I don't know. I think it says something about the person if they feel I don't want to say embarrassed, but if they feel ways about receiving the gift, you should really consider the whole thing. Like, this person really thought that much of you, of the time you spent with them, okay, that they want to, upgrade you here and there. And you are developing a relationship, right? Right? So I'm assuming you've have an intimate relationship, and they want to, treat you here and there. Now, you also have to keep in mind, this is a once in a year special occasion thing. It's not going to be like every other weekend calling or, oh, are we going to the mall? Like, that's not, it's a special occasion. It's your birthday or it's Christmas, or maybe even the anniversary of when you guys started talking or met or whatever, maybe something like that. But, now, if you are expecting expensive handbags and things like that every other weekend, or every month, now I'm going to give you the side eye. When I reflect back at the gays that I've known, and I can only speak on the gays because that's what I've known in the past, right? When I look in you really can tell a lot about the character and the content of somebody's character and the morals when money gets involved in the equation. When luxury and money gets involved in the equation, are they humble about it? Are they, humbly receiving, but at the same time doing their best and putting out their best? You know what I'm saying? Are they being surprised with these things, or are they expecting these things? Do they have a roster of gentlemen colors who can, luxury them from here into the end of the world, instead of just focusing on one person and developing a relationship with that person? It starts showing a lot about the character, and to me, that's all how they grew up, the family structure, the values or lack thereof that were, given to them or taught to them by their parents or wherever they grew up at, whatever chosen family they chose, all of that stuff, all of that. Anyway, in conclusion, to me, to luxury or not, absolutely luxury every single time that you can. I try to live my life as luxurious as possible. Now, I understand that there's a bottom line, and all kidding aside, they are budgets, of course. Everybody, even the richest people in the world have a bottom line and a budget. Okay? But, sure, this is the time to enjoy dating. He wants to buy you something. You want to buy her something expensive? Go ahead, buy her something expensive. Go ahead. Buy her something expensive. Hold on, let's see. Let's just. We are being interrupted. I put this right up there. Juanqui Pro, why pasta? And Brian saying you follow Rico and snap photos of him. They are pressed. Divine Starlight. Funny that you bring this up. I saw a post. It was stuck in my junk folder. I saw a post a couple of nights ago where supposedly I was in a subway or something like. Well, first of all, they pointed me to go review a 6-hour video. First of all, who the fuck has 6 hours? Okay, who has 6 hours? Out of my whole 24 hours, if I'm gonna give 6 hours, I'm giving those 6 hours while I'm making money. Okay? And to my husband, the Incredible Hulk. Okay? And to my husband, the Incredible Hulk. There goes Naris 21 running his agenda. Running his agenda. It's 26 pages long. Then Babe, what's the most expensive gift you've ever received? Just curious. Oh my God, babe, don't do this. Don't make me want to do. Come on. My Lexus. Yes. And I have to correct myself. My second Lexus. And while we at with the Lexus, so they said, babe, Hulk, they said that I was in a subway snapping pictures of a radioactive can collector. And then my next question was, aside from who the hell has 6 hours, my next question was, what the fuck is a subway? I've not been in a subway since before the motherfucking pandemic, when my husband put me in my first Lexus. Yes, the first one. People close to me would remember. I actually sent them videos of me at the Lexus dealership. We had masks because it was COVID, and he bought me the first Lexus, right? And then a couple of years later went by, and my birthday was coming up, and he just wanted to buy me a second motherfucking Lexus. Now this one was the this one, it had a nice price tag on it. Oh yes, about 80K. I said 80K. $80K. So, I've not been in a subway for the longest. So, yeah, I don't know what a subway is, and I don't understand why those people keep trying to drag me into their whole thing. I understand that their stock gains a plus when they have somebody like me hanging around and being around, and I'm not, Let's see. My husband, the Incredible Hulk, says you have closed the door to those people and they keep knocking. And I don't understand. Not over the phone. I don't understand, babe. I don't understand. Not over the phone. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, my husband, the Incredible Hulk, bought me my second Lexus, the one that's valued at 80K, over the damn motherfucking phone. I could not believe it, ladies and gentlemen. I thought only the rich did shit like that. They called. Next thing I know, I'm getting a DocuSign, at the office. I'm opening this thing up and I'm typing in my name. And then, I'm supposed to email it back. And then the girl is like, come pick it up. I was like, did we just buy a motherfucking car over the phone? Over the phone? And the car was somewhere in, I think, like Albany or Rochester. And she drove it down to the dealership. So, she drove it down. But it was, she maybe put like maybe 50 miles on it. Maybe. It was brand new. They gave it to me with a big ass bow and everything. The pictures are there. Close friends and family members and my good Judies and girlfriends have seen all of that. They saw the big picture, the whole and the video, everything is that. But I don't have to come out here and brag about that shit. Not a bow on it and not a car. But here I am. My husband is dropping $80,000 cars that he's picking up over the phone. By the way, they're of the year with a bow on it and the whole nine. And here we go. I'm supposed to be interacting with people who get excited about buying a washer and dryer on fucking Craigslist. A washer and dryer on Craigslist. A used one at that. A used one from ain't no telling what kind of psychopath killer went and washed the crime sheets in there. Okay? And now you got that in your home. The one that you pimp out in Airbnb. You know what I'm saying? The Airbnb thing. You know, where that white man was walking behind with the stomach out on the whole nine? It's just embarrassment over embarrassment over embarrassment. And then to think about, this is the person that is sitting on a live apparently for 6+ hours with a mentally unstable, highly medicated, self-hating, disgusting individual. And I'm supposed to feel waste about it? Going back to the topic at hand, luxury. Let me tell you, I believe that some of the best relationships start out in luxury. My relationship with my husband, the Incredible Hulk, it absolutely started with luxury. First of all, I flew out. And I got flued out. I flew out for my initial date with my husband in a completely different state. I had breakfast in New York and I had dinner. Well, I had lunch by myself. And then 2 hours became 5 hours. And then 5 hours became 6 hours. And then 6 hours became me screaming at Naris 21, trying to figure out what kind of Delta flight, first class flight I can take back to New York because I'm not staying down here. And then 7 hours became 12 hours. So technically, I had breakfast in New York, lunch down there, and then another breakfast the next day because Hulk was late for 12 hours. My husband, the Incredible Hulk, says, do you think he hang his 7 degrees in the car while doing Uber since that's the office? Well, no, baby. The degrees that you see in the background, that's just a photo. You can't even, that's not a bookshelf. That's just like one whole poster thing back there. So there's nothing to take. Okay? My husband, the Incredible Hulk, says, first date was a weekend. He said, I worked late. And then he worked me on that third day. Oh, he rose and oof. But even back then when I was dating, I've always liked to treat myself well. I've worked very hard and, I was smart with my money, have good investments, the whole nine. So, I set aside a pot for like play money when I was dating to date or whatever. Put the whole thing together, your outfits, your haircut, your braids, if I'm flying, where I'm staying, the whole nine. It's part of the game. If you don't have that disposable income, baby, I don't know what to tell you. And then if you're in the receiving end and you're feeling all weird and shit about it, then you're not ready to date yet. My husband, the Incredible Hulk, says, and then you didn't want to ride on the motorcycle, so I had to get the car. Yes. Stop telling these people everything because they're just going to run with it. Next thing you know, I'm a sugar baby and Incredible Hulk. You know how they do over here. You know exactly how they do. But I think that, live in the fantasy and the pleasures of dating. And if you have that disposable cash, go ahead. Don't get in debt for it. Don't not pay your rent and stuff like that. But if you have it and you want to give it, give it. Impress her. Impress him. I'm not saying go buy her a house, but get her a bag. We're not talking about fucking a bag. A bag is a bag. Go to Macy's. Buy her a nice little Michael Kors or something. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like a couple of $100. Like, that's it. Like, it's her birthday. Treat her. And please don't come out here as a man who makes his own money and ask other men how you should be spending your money when chasing a girl. Okay? Because these men will tell you, nah, don't do that. But next thing you know, they're behind your back going right over to try to get in between her legs with a designer bag. All is fair in love and war, right? My husband says, I agree. If you like someone, you go all out. Exactly. You go all out. Enjoy the motherfucking ride. So many jaded people, I'm telling you, they sit in 6 hour, 7 hour lives talking about nothing. You know? Anyway, with that said, I want to thank everybody who came through. Thank you to Charlene for gracing us with your presence. My incredible friend with his own agenda. It's called Project Naris 21 up in the chats. Naris 21, thank you. My husband, the Incredible Hulk, thank you for keeping me grounded, baby. Thank you for loving me. I love that you love me. Thank you. I love you too, baby. Don't forget to hit the like button, people, please. It really helps us out as content creators. I do this every night. Every night I do this. So make sure that you come through tomorrow. I might be coming through in the flesh. Today's my Friday, so I might just give a little show tomorrow, honey. Open a couple of drinks and, and do some things. So make sure that you are following me. Hello, Fifi, all day. Nice to see you. All right. Have a good night. I will see you guys tomorrow. All right. Peace.